tour. You meet a lot of bands on tour and they're cocooned or numbed by the experience, but it seems that you remain thoroughly switched on and engaged with the cities and cultures and histories that you go to.
I wrote a lot of this when I got home. But, you know, certainly the book is, a very large part of the book is a kind of, I guess, saying thank you in some way to the people that have had such an impact on me, both living and dead.
I mean, what do you think, the putting together the original notes and then crafting it back home, what insight did it give you into your own creative process?
I'm not sure, you know. I'm not sure if I don't know really what insight I have into it. To me, the creative process is very much, such as it is, it's very much about going into the office and sitting down and trying to kind of hack it out in some way, because it's the only way that I can do it. But there is an element, for sure, a kind of magical element to the creative process, where some other thing is working. Not all the time, unfortunately, but sometimes some other thing is working, where time changes and body chemistry changes, and you find later on you're not even really quite aware of how you arrived at how you managed to get this sort of thing together. Especially with songwriting, there are kind of leaps of thought in songwriting that are inexplicable, I guess.
And the freedom that comes with that is something that you wouldn't or didn't find in Lawless, for example, which was a script that you battled with and had, I guess, interference, as it were, from the film system, as it were. Was that a much less edifying experience for you when you're writing to other people's visions?
I didn't battle with the writing of Lawless. The script was beautiful, actually. It's because it came from such an amazing book. But you know, there were different agendas at work for that film, and there were people who wanted it to be a particular kind of film, and the director, John Hillcoat, and myself in particular wanted it to be another sort of film. And there was an epic battle about that, which we kind of lost, I guess. You know, and a lot of the kind of heart I felt was taken out of the script and what was actually shot as well.
Is there a script for Bunny Monroe?
There is, yeah.
I know you talked about that originally being for Ray Winston, and I met Ray Winston earlier this year, and he thought he was too old to play that character now.
It's getting that way.
Yeah. so what stage, have you written the script, and at what stage is it in terms of film development, if any stage?
I don't know. It's actually there was an Australian director who's quite great, Justin Kurtzel, who was really interested in it, and we rewrote it. We wrote a different, slightly different end and stuff, and it's actually a really lovely script now. But you know, it's designed as a small English film, and they're actually quite difficult to get off the ground.
Okay. Just before you read the final passage, Nick, in summing
not the final one actually, but.
Oh yeah, two. So
yeah,
penultimate.
Throw one on at the end.
Okay, penultimate. With some distance from there, did it do what you needed it to do? Did you manage to vomit up and expel the things that were hanging over you and kind of clear the decks, as it were, for the next record?
Yeah, I hope so. The next record's coming along really well. I've been working on it with Warren quite a bit, and it's sounding pretty good. I mean, it's in its early days.
When you look back and read the book, what memories of that tour does it conjure for you? Do you feel like a happy time?
Oh, it was lovely. No, it was. I don't think you can ever call it. Actually, look, going to the States, and North America in general is kind of incredible. It's a different sort of place to tour. People are very open. There's a new... people are looking at our band in a different way than they have for a while, I think, or maybe ever did. In a kind of new way, because they heard the new record, so they don't have the same history with the band, and some of the older songs are kind of meaningless to them, and it's the newer songs that they're more interested in, and that sets up a really interesting kind of dynamic, something that's different, that feels reflected actually in the kind of young, relatively young culture of the States in general. There's sort of young enthusiasm that still exists, as far as I'm concerned, in that particular country.
Okay, brilliant, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a tribute now. This is Edmonton.
Yeah, and then I think then I'm...
Questions?
I'll answer some questions if you have any.
Yep.
So,
Great.